Today we're going to start creating our puzzle cube in OnShape. So you should have all your puzzle cube drawings in your notebook. So make sure you have your notebook available so that you can have all of your views ready to go. You can look at them and you can use those whenever you're creating your sketches. So if you want to start on the top plane, if you want to start on the front plane, that's totally up to you. But I'm going to show you how to make this part, which is probably common in a lot of your puzzle cube. So if you have this part, you're more than welcome to use this example as one of your parts. So if you haven't already, you're going to want to create a new document, name it your last name, and then puzzle cube in all caps. And then what you're going to do is create a part studio, and we did this, but you should have part studio 1, and then go ahead and hit this plus and create a total of 5 part studios so that you have them all ready to go. And whenever you have one finished, you can go ahead and rename them to whatever color that part is. So this one, part studio 1, will become orange, right? So once you have all of your parts, then you'll be able to quickly jump through them based on color. And then we can also name this one, part 1, orange as well. Right, so that's something you're going to do at the end once you have all your parts, of course. So for this example, I'm just going to jump into Part Studio 2, and I'm going to create this same exact part. So looking at this part, I know that it is 3 blocks wide, 2 blocks tall, and 1 block in depth. So we want to remember our dimensions as each block is a 0.75 or 3/4 inch cube. So that means that we want to make sure that anytime there's 3 of those blocks across, it is 2.25. And anytime that it's 2 blocks in length or height, it is 1.5. And then finally 1 block, this depth will be 0.75. So I'm going to jump over and I'm going to create a new sketch. One thing we want to remember, if you drew your drawing in your notebook as the letter C instead of the letter U for this part, that's okay. But for this, we want to lay it out so that our longest dimension is running left and right, right? So I'm going to click on the front plane here and then rotate my view so that I can see my front plane directly on. And then I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. There are many ways that you can create this part. If you want to do it a different way because you prefer that way, that is completely fine. But I'm going to create a rectangle that is my overall shape. So I'm going to do 2.25 wide, hit enter, and I'm going to make it 1.5 tall. Right, so that's my overall shape. Now I can just simply continue this drawing here, or I can extrude it. I can extrude it so that it is a complete rectangle, and then I can subtract where that block is missing. So again, however you want to do it is completely fine. So if I was to create the sketch now, I could do that, but I'm going to extrude this and we'll subtract from this. So I'm going to grab extrude, click it, rotate my view, and I'm going to add this depth as 0.75. and hit the green checkbox, right? So I have a complete rectangle minus our little cutout here, right? And that cutout is 1 block wide. So in order to remove that block, I'm going to create another sketch on the plane of the part itself, not this one, but the plane of the part. So I'll click on the front there, and I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, and I'm going to click somewhere on the top of that rectangle and drag down into the part. I'll click at a random size and make that 0.75, hit enter, and 0.75, enter. Right? So that'll make a cube size cutout there, but it doesn't quite look even. It looks like it's shifted more to the left than it is to the right. So to put it in the correct position, we have to use our dimension tool. So you can hit D on your keyboard, or you can click the dimension tool in the center of your screen at the top. And we're going to say the dimension or the distance from this side of our part to this side of that cutout should be, so right now it's 0.68, it should be 0.75 because it's 3 blocks long, right? So if we're removing one from the center, we want to make sure it's evenly spaced. And as long as you made your rectangle the correct size, you should only have to do this one side, right? Because if this is 0.75, then the distance from here to here should also be 0.75, right? So if you don't see that, then you have something incorrect in your dimensions here. All right, so this is how it should look. And I'll hit the green checkbox and I'll grab my extrude tool. I'm going to rotate my view up, select extrude. Now, if I needed to add something on, I could definitely add it on this way. If I needed to add, 2 blocks or 3 blocks, you could do it this way. I actually want to remove, so I'm going to select the remove feature, and right now it'll go all the way through. I'm going to change this depth to 0.75 though, and hit the green checkbox. Right? So right there is our part. Last thing I'm going to do is hit Appearance Panel, double click on Part 1, and just change it to whatever color I have in my notebook. So obviously if yours is an orange, it shouldn't be orange, right? So hit the green checkbox, and then I can go ahead and name my part. Now, this is just an example video. If you do not have this part, you do not have to complete this assignment. This is just to show you a quick example of how to do a part. You are going to complete this for all 5 of your parts for your puzzle cube. If you don't have drawings or you don't have your puzzle cubes, you are more than welcome to use somebody else's cube. You're just going to have to, number 1, figure out how it goes together whenever you are finished. And number 2, just make sure if you're using a cube, you're not, you're not trying to use the same part at the same time. So you will have to just kind of pass them back and forth with each other. All right. I'll be happy to help with any questions. Good luck. You may begin.